Alrighty, so week 6 in CIT 82 Intro to Web Development. This is a week where we're going to take now what we've learned with Bootstrap, because it's been an introduction, and we're going to find a template, and we're going to copy that template into our public repo in a new folder. And we're going to do some analysis of that template, and then we'll do a plan to where actually we start to plan out some of the stuff we're doing for our template. So there's a lot of technical stuff this week, which every week actually in a class like this, there's something technical. Let me just say this though, as a beginning to this section. The way we're going to build our websites here is what we call static. These are static web pages. And they're static, and they're also, and I've mentioned this before, many of your templates might be a single web page, and then those menu links will link to the content, and what you'll end up needing to do is create individual pages. And so where each of those menu items, and again, minimum of 3, maximum of 5, and actually I replied to Kimberly's question. This was a really good one about, if you do 3 menu items that then house your sub pages, which you'll see as we start building, you could use 4 and 5, right, for a contact link if you have it. But you could also create a contact page, like you could do that. So that is like when you, okay, so here's my point about, I described it now, but I will tell you as you grow in your web development skill base, what you will see is there's other more effective ways to actually create websites, and it's not by the way we're doing it. The way we're doing it is really the beginning way. It's kind of like, this is the way you have to do it at least once in your life, but probably hereafter you'll use either some kind of software. As an example, one of the most common, believe it or not, on the web still today is called WordPress. And WordPress is software that you can install on a server that allows you to create a dynamic site based on your own content. It doesn't build individual pages. It basically uses code in order to inject individual, from a database, content into the site. So it's done dynamically. Okay, but we're not doing that. We're doing it in a static way, in a bit more laborious, little bit labor intensive. And the reason I do that here is that part of what you're learning is really to also hone your file management skills, understanding what goes into creating these sites in this kind of laborious way, in a static way, not in a dynamic way. But just know, going forward, you may or may not, but the chances are not that you'll necessarily do future sites this way. You'll learn other technologies to build sites. That's just kind of the way of anything, is you kind of learn it one way, learn it maybe a little more laborious, and then you'll learn more technology to create more effective sites instead of having to have that HTML. And the other thing is too is it's inefficient. But often when we're starting to learn, we don't focus on the efficiency so much at the beginning. We focus on the efficiency as you learn more skill. Okay, really what we're doing here is just helping you understand that basic, like how you get started building basic sites, and then you build up from there. Okay, now having said all that, when you're looking for templates, and I actually have a video just going over, because that'll be the first thing, you'll all select a different template. I've selected one already that I'll be using, and I think I've already shown it to you, but you'll all select one. But that process of selecting is important. Okay, and you definitely want to spend the time thinking about it, because some of these templates, and you want to choose one that's hopefully Bootstrap 5.3, which the version 5 is the latest 5.3, or at least 5. Don't choose a Bootstrap 4 template. What I mean by that is Bootstrap, if I looked at, right, There we go. Okay. Well, that says it doesn't exist. Oh, I think it's Git Bootstrap. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So you can see if we come in here, if I just go to the Bootstrap, version 5.3.2. Okay, so at least version when you're looking, because I show you how to search for template site. Again, free, right? These are free templates. So in order to do that, definitely choose anything. Don't choose 4, because 4 is an older version. It's still out there. It's still more used a lot, but 5 has been out for a while. So we want to make sure when you're building your or choosing your template, you choose a later one. Now, in that process as well, you want to spend a little time looking at the code and looking at all the features that it offers, because the more things that are in the site which make it tempting to want to choose is also something you're going to have to contend with when you go to build. So I'm not saying choose simple, okay? I'm saying just think about it, because if you're somebody with a little more skill, maybe you want to build something that has a little more involved, and if you don't, you want to build something a little less involved, or the middle of the road, because the first thing you're going to look for is something that looks good to you, and then you'll spend a little time looking at the code. It's just a really important process, okay? That's my point, right? So when selecting templates, definitely spend a little time. First come, first serve on that one. Now, one thing here, when I show how to unzip on the Mac, on the Windows side, there's just, I didn't show it in this case, but if you go to YouTube and do Windows unzipping files, right? And if you haven't done it, it's just a very common thing. Like, I think this is the one I looked at. Yeah, this one right here I think was the one I looked at. Basically, it's a zip file, and you can tell it's a zip file. I think even on the more current versions of Windows 11, you can see it because it has a little zipper in it. And basically, you're taking the contents of that file, and you're taking, because it's all compressed into one file, and you're unzipping it, which means take all the contents that's inside and show me, explode, unzip it. So where you download one file, you unzip it and get a lot of files in a folder it's going to create on your system. Now on the Windows side, there's another step where you extract all, but again, check that out. And hopefully you've done unzipping. Unzipping should be a pretty standard basic skill, but if you need help, come get help with that part. So, but more than anything, right? What I want you to do is give this some thought. Reach out for help if you need it, right? And then in this reply, I would say to you, maybe you could tell me, have you unzipped files before? Is that something you've done? And if not, go learn how to do that maybe before you get to the part that you're going to copy this week. That would be a good thing to do. And the other thing I would tell you as a preview, right? So we're at week 6, right? So week 6 now, all the content's there. So then we're going to end up creating new pages. You'll create and you'll select your topic very soon. Matter of fact, I would say really in this week would be a good week to think about that, because you're going to do some planning, right? So I'll probably update this a little bit. We'll look at images in week 7. Week 8, we'll build out most of those pages. We'll do a little more looking. We'll build a favicon. That's the icon that's on the tab. We'll do that there. We'll look at some other 100 things web developers should know. And then I'll probably, I don't know, I may redo this one. And then look at here. This is when this project is due, which is March 6th. And that's a different night than our normal. And this is one of those things that, the sooner you get it done, the better. Because then, like everything I've talked about, the sooner you submit something, you can get my feedback on it. I will be adding, let me look at this, because I have been already replying to questions about the site, about the requirements. I believe I added this. If not, I will be adding it, that you'll create a site map. Yeah, I did. Yeah, so that will be one of the pages you'll create that list all the pages anyway, and that will be helpful to do. Okay, so that would be the question, right? So if you don't have, if you want to reply with, the zip, have you ever done that before, or anything that I've done? I've already been answering questions about this, but anything I've related with the rest of the content that we're going to be doing. But like I said, every week now we'll be working on something related to the project. All right, have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.